Welcome to CoinBook. My name is Calvin Waite, and I'm a professional crypto trader. I really like getting feedback from you guys about the market, what you're trading, successes, failures, so I'm going to go ahead and start giving out a t-shirt every week now. What I'll do is I'll look at all comments from Thursday to Thursday, and then Friday select a random winner. Well, Bitcoin is just teasing us at this point. We've definitely been seeing some pretty fun action. Look how close we are to that golden line, the all-time high. So there are a couple of bullish things happening here, which makes me think that with this structure that we have currently, we are most likely going to break the all-time high in the next day or two. And what leads me to that conclusion? We have this swing high here. We had a strong candle. We were finding support off of that. It's really tight action, but when you get up into these high ranges, these little movements really count. And the other kicker is that today's high so far is 19,490. Yesterday's high was 19,442. So we have a higher high than yesterday. We have a higher low than yesterday. And we are simply consolidating. We are going to blow the top off of this, and it's going to happen on Thanksgiving, or it's going to happen today. So, wow, pretty wild. It's exciting. So, hope everyone's enjoying this. So today's alt markets are at about 11 million Bitcoin, and the interesting thing about this is that even though we've had a little bit of a drop in the total alt market value, if you take a look at Bitcoin dominance has gone up, but the others dominance has also gone up. So the only segment of the market that's getting squeezed right now is that top 10, top 20 cryptos. So those ones have been on such a wild rally so far that they are all kind of taking a rest today. And that's giving back some dominance to Bitcoin. But others' dominance has gone up by 0.17%, which that much increase in these really micro caps, that really translates into some really high percent gains for some of these smaller coins. So I was kind of browsing through. I saw one that was up like 90%. I saw one there's quite a few double-digit gains. So those are pretty cool. We're probably going to see in the next few days a little bit more of a turnaround. So I expect that the altcoin markets will continue to either stabilize or peak upwards a little bit further. We just needed a couple of days for some of these bigger kind of blue chip type cryptos to settle down and find some footing. So it's looking really strong. If Bitcoin breaks an all-time high, we're not going to be able to go out into public because we're going to be walking around like this guy here. So LBRY credits is one of those coins that has been pretty incredible. This coin is one that has some good history. I enjoyed trading this most recently because when I entered over here, this ended up being a triple, and then waiting for it to return. Once we started establishing higher lows and support off of resistance like this, I rebought and tripled again. So this has been a pretty sweet coin. It's definitely micro cap, but this is one of those that'll get really bouncy. We're back down to these levels that it has returned to several times, and we're just getting off of them. So we had a low here, and then we revisited it, but we had a nice long consolidation. At the end of a long consolidation, it has a choice. It can either break up or down, but usually after you've fallen this far, it's ready to go. So this one looks pretty sweet. I would definitely, if you like to trade microcaps, I'd take a look at this one. I have no idea if this is a very great place to enter though. You may, normally you would want to wait for that first break back down to some kind of a support like 157, 160. But yeah, these little ones can get really bouncy, especially if whales decide they want exposure to these and launch it up. So another definitely pretty awesome trade on the table. I mean, this really, the downside is fairly limited because it's pretty much sold off. It's sold out and starting to flatten. And then the upside is just so awesome. So here's another one to put on your plate. So I hope you guys are following on the coinbook.com Twitter because at the end of day yesterday, I did tweet out a bunch of coins that that exited the red zone. One of those was this Einsteinium, and I said we still have a really nice entrance exiting that day above this 50-day moving average. So follow me on Twitter because at the end of today, there's likely going to be quite a handful of coins that are exiting this red zone. And historically, when we exit the red zone, it is usually a very good place to buy. And I can see a lot of these smaller alts, if they exit the red zone, they are the type of things that can really launch. So you'll want to take some notes on that. The coin of the day that I wanted to share is OKCash. It's a coin that exited the red zone a while ago, and I said, hey, keep your eye on this. And we have done some of the most awesome price action for this coin. Let me exit some of these things that nobody needs to get all messed up in. But look at this. This is that structure that I've been looking for, where we have this nice low. In this case, we had a little mini double bottom, and then we broke above that and pulled back exactly to the resistance that we faced during this this very bottom section here. And now we're kind of forming a cup and handle of the larger swing. So this coin looks like it's primed. If the micro caps get going and that chart turns around pretty good, this will likely be one of those that does well. If I zoom out a little bit, you can kind of see our next range of price action is probably in this 340 to 450. So this is a very high probability of doubling. If you enter anywhere below 200, the downside, the bottom of this is 100, so this is a 50% drop, but you have a 100% gain on the table. So the profit versus risk is pretty sweet on this particular coin. So the final coin I wanted to look at today was one that a lot of people have mentioned in the comments that you wanted a little bit more of an in-depth review on Ethereum Classic. I know a lot of you guys are looking at Ethereum Classic versus the dollar, but in my opinion, I feel like you should be holding Bitcoin if it's going up faster than Ethereum Classic, because whatever gets you the most dollars, once Ethereum Classic starts going up faster than Bitcoin, that's when you want to be in. So some of you guys were asking, hey, are we about to break some level or another? And I said, we will if we can overcome this 50. I've been waiting for a close above the 50 for months, and we were close. Earlier in the day, we were up here, but now it looks like we've got a gravestone doji forming. We still have 3.5 hours on the days, so we'll have to watch this. But most likely, this is the high probability situation, and that is that we will most likely break back down to like 34 or 3,500 satoshis, and we'll give it one more chance. It's hard to break the 50 when the 50 is this steep down and we're meeting it going up this steep. We kind of want to flatten out a little bit and have the 50 also flatten out, and then when we sneak over it, those are usually the best chance for good gains. So just because of the last 8 hours of trade action, we are likely to reject off of the 50, which means we're going to be a little bit more patient. But that's good, because if we can get down here and establish a little bit more support, this will be a launching pad for much better gains than we could if we just tried to be a hero and break out right now. So it looks really nice, but it just is going to take a few weeks. So just wait for the structure to come and it'll be an awesome trade. So there's been something on my mind for a while, and I wanted to re-emphasize to you guys that every single trade is a statistics probability question. Just because a coin has the perfect setup does not mean it's going to go the way you want it to, or that you think it's going to. As you know, I consider myself a pretty successful trader, and I definitely get some really good trades, but there are times when the setup is perfect and it falls apart. So when you're trading, I want you guys to think about not, okay, this setup's going to go, I'm going to put a ton of money in this and I'm going to go and get rich really fast. You need to think about, okay, this is a better than 50% trade. This is a good probability trade, but even a 99% trade has a 1% chance of falling apart. And so when you make a trade, make sure that you have a plan B. Some traders use a stop for their plan B. Some traders, they'll use time as a stop for plan B. My strategy, I like to make very small trade positions. So I will take 1% or less of my portfolio and put it into a coin, knowing full well that even though I have a greater than 50% chance that my trade will pan out, there's also a giant percent chance, it could be 45% chance, that my trade is going to fail. And so if it goes the wrong way on me, my plan B is that I'm just willing to write it, but I'm also looking for that next trade entry. And I have the guts to reinvest when I see another perfect trade setup, because at some point it's going to work out. And if I have 2 or 3 trades that lose 50% and I can get one at the very bottom that triples, then my average return is still positive. So think of trading as a statistics question. Don't go all in on anything, because you're just going to destroy your capital. The very best trader in the world, if they went all in on even the most perfect trade, they would liquidate themselves, because nobody is going to get it right every single time. That's just not reality. So take all of my trade suggestions and kind of market education with a grain of salt. We want to make smart trades, and how you do that is you wait for the right structure, and then you place a trade that's reasonable, something that you can recover from if it goes the wrong way. So just wanted to reemphasize that. Most of the trade suggestions that I have, I'm looking for something before I actually make the trade. It's usually a close above a certain level. So none of these trades would I just take right now. I would be waiting till the end of day to see how that next pattern finalized. So I hope that helps you guys. Okay, it is time to separate the CoinBook trolls from the CoinBook fans. So these are the magnificent t-shirts that we are giving away every Friday. These are individually packaged with love from your best friends, China. There's also this incredible option designed by yours truly, and we'll be giving away probably 1 or 2 of these every Friday to just a random comment on any of the videos over the past week. But, and I don't blame you, if you absolutely cannot live without one of these shirts, I am willing to part with them for $15 worth of your favorite crypto. Just reach out to me on social media and we'll get you guys hooked up.